You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Bro,
Push-ups,
you're like,
no
oh my
hands.
gosh, it's gonna snap, bro. And then you're just practicing like going worm and going tree mode. You get what I'm saying? You just like you're just lifting yourself. You're just like I gotta ah. No, you just like turn on your phone and then you're like and then you just turn it off and you're like just fall back down on the ground.
Yeah, what's up? When off I go, pretty afternoon, it's up past 4. Looking at the skyline, looking back at mine. I feel like I gotta say it's one of a kind. Yeah, what's up? When off I go, pretty afternoon, it's up past 4. Looking at the skyline.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast, Surviving the Apocalypse. I'm Chris, the High Guy Jacobs.
And this is that panda guy, and we'll start this off by talking about Pompeii and jumping from there.
Sounds good. It's been a busy couple of weeks. There's been lots of changes to the game. We've had a couple of really busy events we want to talk about as well today. But yes, let's talk about Pompeii. We just had that today. How did it go for you?
I got clapped by H&B today, which was fun. It was like a what's it called? I actually guessed it might have been them because it was a almost 20 bill rating, 28 win streak against us with like a 13.6 bill rating with a 3 win streak.
Jeez.
I mean, we kept them on the field at least, so like we were able to hold kind of helipad for like 4 bases there for 50 minutes. That's an accomplishment for us. So
No doubt. I guess especially against HMB.
really satisfied with it. Yeah, I mean, they're still kind of packing like well weight, so it's
We
they were
ended
just
up
running us.
against Ethereal Realm, ETHR, out of Region 69. And they put up a pretty good fight, very active. It was very good. Unfortunately, they weren't able to keep up with our tenacity.
AKA your rider.
That's
Mark.
right. We had one rider specific. Actually, no, it was. I'm gonna give this total blame to 2 specific players. Chad of the Shire, one of our top players on our team. He's got a beautiful Rubina. I think it's like 6.89 or something like that. It's just around that 6.9 million. Beautiful Rubina. Some of the trades we were seeing were absolutely fantastic. But we also had a visitor named Genocide. I'm not sure if you know Genocide.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, we had him visit as well. He's visited for a couple of Pompeiis. He's a good friend of mine. So we had him too. And Genocide is just a machine. He just ego swarms everything himself. He doesn't care.
That's what happens when you got too many troops. Though to be fair, you won't see that same energy by most people in normal events. They get like the fear of God taken out of them when you jump in Pompeii and you're like, oh, no debts for me.
That's right. Everything's free in Pompeii. That's why I love Pompeii. You know that? It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, you can ego fight, and like, hey, you'll rarely get an enemy that's just gonna sit on the helipad or not helipad, but in like the back zone and
The
just
start
refuse
zone,
to
yeah.
fight you. I did see that back in the past. Like some people would like boycott Pompeii when they got a bad matchup. Like, bro, what is the point? Like,
Why?
you're missing rewards. I get they were trying to deny the enemy rewards, but like realistically, the enemy can get all their points by jumping in like operation bases and stuff. They'll
And gathering.
eventually build up to 15k. Yeah, you're denying your own team points and like even fun in itself. I mean, I get it's lopsided, but you can still make the best of a bad thing. Like, bro,
Well, exactly.
like boycotting Pompeii is crazy. Like,
And it's an
that's
hour
the one
long.
event
You're
you
going to
really-
sit there for an hour? Are you kidding?
Either that or they just don't. They just go back to the region and I don't even think you can farm because once you go on Pompeii, you can't like send your marches out, can you?
I don't know. I've never gotten out of Pompeii and not tried to get back into Pompeii. The only time I can remember ever leaving a Pompeii is when like the server crashed and it kicked you out. And you had to go
I feel
back
like I
in.
did it once when we had like a really easy matchup. Like we just like steamrolled them. So we were just like, I just sent my stuff to the operation bases and went to the map. And I'm pretty sure I couldn't send anything out. So suffering, I guess.
Well, that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I look at Pompeii and I'm like, it's a free 1 hour event. The rewards are pretty decent. You get a chance to just get out there and throw shit at the wall. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to heal. In fact, I get pissed off at my players if they heal during Pompeii because it's such a waste.
Dude,
Don't
no
do it,
joke.
folks. Don't do it.
I try to figure out who did it and hunt them down if I see that. I'm like,
Insta kick.
are you stupid? Like, bro, I can't. When people heal in Pompeii, it's mental. I think it was like 60k and then like 40k on our side today. I'm just like, Why even did you need to heal that much, bro? Like, what told you that was a good idea?
Not to mention, yeah,
Who
no,
told
no shit. On ours, we were like 55 to 19. There was no need to heal. They didn't heal a single troop, and we had like 500,000 healed on our side. I was like,
You better hope it was tier 1 troops.
tier 1 cars, 500,000 of them. Going to Pompeii
about
just to
tier 1
farm,
is
that's the thing.
the thing about tier 1 is it takes no time to heal normally. Like, I wonder if that's the same for Pompeii. Like, you could just go in with like 100 million T1 and just ego fight it and just keep healing.
Yeah, but
Imagine getting swarmed. You're just able to just keep healing it all, and you're like, well, what can you do? Like, just
I,
having like a billion T1 troops.
I
Like, what are
guess
you gonna do,
so.
swarm? I
It's like
wonder if
the
that would
epitome of like ant fighting. You know what I mean? Here's
yeah.
a million ants. Ugh.
I wonder how like a billion T1 would fare against like a proper T6 rally, like a whale with only T1. Especially if you focused one T1, because then you're better off because I don't know, like you have like completely range base compared to like a mixed base. It'd
Yeah,
be kind of interesting to see someone like a billion T1 just taking like a 2 million rally, see if like you'd smack it or not.
a billion troops. I
I
think
mean,
getting
yeah,
to
you're
a
gonna be as
billion
strong as
troops would be
safety at that
crazy
point.
first.
Yeah, I mean, like that's enough might to get to safety's level. No, I mean obviously it's all fake might, but I mean you're not gonna be field fighting with that unless you're an absolute god.
Well, I mean, you heard about that one. There was that one guy who made his entire life fighting tier 6 as a tier 5 fighter.
Dawn, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah. And he did his own thing until he got tier 6, and then I was talking to him after that cuz I wanted to get him on the Who TF Are You podcast. And he says he would have until he ended up getting his tier 6, and then once he got his tier 6, he didn't feel like he deserved it anymore.
Didn't feel like he deserved it, bro. Like
Because he's a tier
man,
5 fighting tier 6. He was a
but I
strong
man,
tier
but I have
5.
to
He's
earn
like,
my
I'm not
once tier 7 comes out, he can reclaim his seat at the round table.
at
Round
the
table of
punching
goats.
up round table. Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know what the point of that is. I mean, I get it. I get you want to be like, haha, look at me, I'm such a bad boy. And to be fair, at least T5, are faster. Lower troops.
There's benefits to it, so I get it. The amount of ego you get from taking down tier 6 with tier 5 is amazing. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand. But once you get tier 6 and you get that level, it's like, well, now I can't ride on I can't ride those coattails
Yeah,
anymore,
yeah. I mean, like, and I mean, you get to avoid the hospital bills, but like I know people always complain about like the hospital bills in T6, but it's like, is it really worth avoiding T6 for a hospital bill? Because then again, like you're gonna just get more injuries as a T5, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna heal probably the equivalent amount. So it's like, are you really accomplishing anything by being a lower troop?
All I'm saying is that IGG owes us tier set, like they owe us level 7 nodes already. I don't know why we don't have them. We need them. That's
I
what
mean,
we
level
like.
10 by this point. They've cut us off for months, like for years actually. Like you should have given us a freaking tier node for every year we played this game. Like goddamn.
No shit. And hive minds, why are we still stuck at 5s? This is ridiculous. 6s.
I could solo that with my freaking T1 infantry. Like damn. Bless me.
Alrighty, let's move on. That is all for Pompeii. As we said, guys, it's a lot of good coming out of Pompeii. Don't forget to play it every week if you can. Get out there and get it. It's a totally free event. Probably one of the best ones to do, in my opinion, because it's free and everything that's
I mean, you
free
could
is
even
good.
entrust if you need. Like it's worth legendary relics.
Yeah.
Even just all the rewards in general. Like just entrust if you really need. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously that costs money, but if you can't afford it, entrust.
And I mean, and you only need to get 15,000 points overall, which you can get through farming. You can get through doing a lot of other things as well. But it's super easy to get your 15,000 points for your max rewards. Now, let's move on. We've got a couple things to talk about today. One that is itching to come out is one based on the updates that just dropped. Have you read them?
The likes and stuff that we were talking about, and all the other ones. I mean,
Yeah. The
I
update
I did do a
available to
video on it,
version
so-
1.43.
I mean, I did do a video, so I did read most of them. Although if I can remember all of them, that's another story. But yeah, I get the general gist of it all. Which one did you want to start on talking about?
Well, first off, what do you think of the new shelter ambiances?
Is that a new skin? I
It's the
didn't
new-
even check it yet.
It's a new
Let
skin
me check that.
type.
Skin type.
Yeah,
Or-
this is what I'm saying. Open it up, dog. There's a whole nother thing. It's called ambience now. So not only
What?
so not only do you get to choose a troop or a
What?
shelter skin, but now you get to put
Bruh.
these ambient whatever ambiances is around your shelter now too.
I wonder how that's gonna look. Like it doesn't show anything. It's supposed to like.
You see it?
Huh. I don't. Well, to be fair, I'm on a. Let me look at a bigger account because I'm using like a basic default base on a farm.
Just
Look
look
at
at your. Just go to. Well, you can. You
I
should
see. I see it. but I don't see anything like anything around the base. Like I thought it was gonna like make it look different. Like
So
I thought it was gonna like
it's got the
put something
red
around it.
ambient area that goes around, and then the gold. So the one that we
Oh,
have, the Poker Kingdom ambience, which is going to be coming out in the Alice Mad Hair event.
okay, that's the one on the 19th, I think it was.
Yeah, that's the one that's just starting there. So that'll be one that'll. It looks like the legend. It looks like the same thing that'll be a legendary skin. You know, they used to do legendary skins. But this one, it's got like a red ambient. Kind of like a vibrant color that goes around from the base, and then a red like gem ruby heart above it that just hovers above the shelter skin. So it's
Yeah, it
just
is
gonna
like
look
a
pretty.
2%. It has a 2% healing speed. So I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think it'll be like a legendary because I mean, like, and 2% damage to range squads. I don't know. It's potentially right, but I was looking at like the Steam Battleship, and I mean, like heal speed 10% compared. Well, this is heal cost, I guess, so it is different. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is gonna be comparable to legendary. It's
Well,
gonna
if you
be.
look in the event, I'm just looking at the event calendar for it. For the Mad Hares, it looks like it's going to be the same one of those like point runners that you had before, but they're not advertising a legendary skin like they normally would. They're advertising the legendary
Ambient.
ambience instead.
Yeah, and you get a little headquarters too, hospital capacity. Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, and I'll take the extra 1% infantry squad defense. Plus, I think it looks good. That's probably one of the better looking skins that are out there, especially for
You're
cheap.
right for $10.
Yeah, for cheap. At least that's what I assume it's going to be, speculative, but
I like the one we got from that. What's it called? Forget the freaking name, but it's the one we just had from that event that lasted for 2 months. The Ironheart, the Pacific Rim event. I actually
yeah.
like that one.
I like that one
One of my
too.
more.
I'm mad they didn't bring out the freaking March skin. Where's
Did
my
they not? No,
wh-
no, no, they
where's
did.
my
They did. It was in the roulette. Remember?
Yeah, but they have
That
the,
was
the
the one.
one, the crimson whatever it was. But what about the one that they put out in Bounty Ground?
Oh,
How come
I
that
think that
one
was just.
wasn't
I think that was just
available?
for the sake of bounty ground. I think it was just for the sake of looking cool to
She
like
was no,
hype people up into spending more. They're like, you wanna look cool? Spend money.
I wanted that March skin. That was better than the Crimson Typhoon or whatever.
I actually like the other, the one they released though in roulette. Thought I looked pretty cool. But I
Really?
wouldn't buy it.
You like Crimson Typhoon?
I don't know. I thought it looked pretty nice though. I wouldn't buy it for however much money. Oh, there's a new March skin too. I didn't even notice the March hair. Have you seen the March hair?
Wait, there's a new March skin I didn't see?
Look at the March hair, bro.
Oh god, are you kidding?
Oh no, bro. That one's kind of goofy. I'm not gonna lie.
That
They need
is
a panda,
super
dude.
goofy.
That's what they need. They need a panda skin, bro. I've been waiting,
That is super goofy.
and then I wouldn't buy it. But you know,
You wouldn't get the panda one if they brought in a panda one?
I still wouldn't. I wouldn't spend a few $100s. Like I don't care if it's a panda skin or not. I still want a panda skin in the game, but I'm not gonna pay for it.
But
Like,
I'm not gonna get it.
yeah, you're not gonna catch me paying for that. Like that's what $600 usually for those.
Yeah, they're not
minimum?
cheap, dog. They're definitely not cheep. No,
And
not
if
by
it
any
and
stretch.
if it takes squad skin vouchers, it's even more expensive.
Oh,
Usually.
no, I've only got like 3 of them, and you need 100. Get out of here.
I don't
And
even
then,
try to get them, bro. I'm just like it's a lost cause for me.
well,
I'm
and
like,
then they
I'm
took the
happy with.
events that you could actually get them from. Like, how else are we supposed to get them now? You know?
Oh
Like,
yeah, I thought they would release a new event for that. So I was thinking about what you were talking about. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't released a new event to get like vouchers and stuff. That doesn't make sense to me.
yeah. Hopefully they'll release another one, and it won't be something that's like a monopoly thing.
I'm not even sure if we should be saying hopefully, because that just means like they'll milk more money from us. And then again, it's like imagine the people who already have like saved halfway,
Yeah.
and they're just sitting there like, I was just saving for like a year. I
No
thought I'd get it
shit.
from
No
second or
shit.
third year, but now I got no method.
Can you imagine they're
that's
sitting
their
at like 85 vouchers? Yeah, I'm so close.
for 99. You're just sitting at literally 99. You're like, I remember like actually one of my players, Pro, he had like I think it was like 95 or something, and he actually had enough coins I think to buy the next one. And then he was like, bro, but then they did release it, in the event. But obviously there's no other way to earn it now. So he was able to get his March skin, but if he still was barely off. And the only reason he was able to get was because they brought it in with that one event. I forget what it's called. The biohazard frenzy or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Just for that 1 week or whatever.
I'm actually becoming a big fan of some of these events. Though I did look at the calendar, and this coming week is all buyer events. Like it's all spending events. Bloody Brandy, District Showdown, Base Exploration, Alice Mad Hares. Like, it's just all spending events all within the same week. What?
And we got Alliance League. I can gather some food at least.
Thank God for
That's
gathering. I wouldn't do it any other
literally
way.
that's the only event I don't really. I can just chill. And honestly, I don't even like Alliance League. I've never had requirements for my alliance to actually participate in it. Really, I mean, like we do it, but I don't care if people actually like perform or not, because that's the one event I just don't care about, bro.
Well,
You only care
exactly.
about fights here.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the
Forget
day, the
those.
only ones that are really getting rewards are the ones that do well in it anyway, so fuck them. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
exactly.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Don't take that out of context.
I mean, it's true. It's true though. Like, well, not the back half of that, but only people getting rewards are the ones who are, try harding it. Because we do get like people with like 10K points or whatever. Freaking
I mean, they do get
try
what?
hard.
They do get 10 frags, so it does make sense.
It depends. It depends what Alliance League bracket you're in, because like they also made a new league level, Super Ace. There's Top Fighter. I think in mine you get 15, and I'm in. Are you in Top Fighter? I'm in Top Fighter.
Let me see what we're in. Super Ace.
Because it's 15 for the top one. Oh, is it 15 still?
15 for what? Sorry?
First place in
Oh,
your
let me see the
member.
rewards. 20.
Because it's 15 for us. Okay, so it does jump up. I was
Yeah.
gonna say like
First
what the
place
heck?
gets 20.
I mean, at least you guys make it. Like the thing is, I think when you're like one of those weaker teams in the Super Race, I wouldn't even say weaker because I've had teams that beat us like who are like much smaller than us in like Alliance League.
Mhm.
But when you're kind of one of the less, I guess, participant alliances, you'll kind of bounce back and forth between one or the other ranks. So like Top Fighter, for example, we're probably going to be landing there every other time
Mhm.
and just jumping back into Super Race. So it's like at least enjoy the rewards while you get them. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, like we're not gonna be some whale alliance who's spending 100,000 during an alliance league to stay first. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's 15 frags in Super Ace if you get your 6,600 or your 6,600 individual points.
And then there's the individual rankings too.
Yeah,
So
so I
if
mean,
you- if you go
it's pretty
further-
good for rewards if you
What's-
do well.
What's the top group looking like for you point wise?
Oh, we're in 10th, so it's really bad for us. First right now is 180,000.
Yeesh, dude, we're first in like the one under you at only 50,000, bro.
Yeah, our first
We're
place right
top
now is
fighter.
180,000. Second place is 130,000. We're with top one. We've got top one and
Yeah, that's the
Ryle.
low group.
We're matched with Ryle as well.
Oh yeah, those are big spenders. No
Top
wonder.
one, Ryle and K815 out of
I've never heard of
127.
those guys. I'd have to check them out.
Wait a second.
Is that like a new group? I've seen those guys.
Oh, hold on a second. So anyways, let's get back here. We were talking about the shelter ambience. Looking pretty interesting.
And then we bounced off all the way to Pompey. I don't.
Yep.
Or not Pompey. We bounced off to Alliance League. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know, but that's welcome to ADHD. That's the best part about it.
I don't even have it, and I'm sliding down there with you, bro.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So
Right in
after that, the next thing they added was the budding Warzone to Archipelago, Island Raid, Genesis War, and District Showdown, which
I
is
didn't even notice
basically
it.
a whole new war zone for regions with Federation history less than or equal to 180 days. What do you take on that one, big guy?
I think it's just stupid, bro. I mean, like you fix migration and then you add something like that. If you're if you're serious, it's like people are just gonna be like, oh, I can migrate down every 4 months now. Let's go. I can go pick on more noobs. Like it's gonna be even easier than last time. Though to be fair, are you really picking on noobs when everybody probably has the same thought as you? Like you're gonna meet other people who are doing the same exact thing as you. just
They'll
jumping
always
regions
be a
or even just
whale.
joining alliances.
Yeah, they'll always
There's
be a
gonna
whale, right?
Unless they fix the actual root of the problem, there's
Yeah.
always gonna be a whale. So
So the way I look at this is there's two things that I'm thinking about. Number one, adding an extra war zone is going to be a good thing because it is going to limit some of those people who have specifically moved to brand new regions and taken over, right? So they're going to put those guys in their own brackets, which is fine. And the way that I look at it, out of 2,200, 256 are being relegated to their own area, which is like 1,900 left in a huge block. So even if they had a couple more brackets in there, I'm fine with that. But like you
Wait,
mentioned,
did they say a number?
Pardon?
Did they say the number? I didn't even see that.
No. I'm just talking about how you're only allowed 2,200 alliances to play anyways.
Oh, so you were just giving like a guesstimate.
So, well, think about it. They have 256 that go into elite and above, right? Which means that there's 1,900 that get paired in fearless. 1,900 teams that get paired in fearless. So taking out the bottom percentage, right, should in
Or just
theory
add
make
more groups.
right. So having a couple extra of those war zones isn't a bad thing. But like you mentioned, I think the issue is that they're not addressing the real problem. The real problem is not that these younger regions don't have a chance to play or playing with their own younger regions. The problem is you have older players in those younger regions. That's the issue, right? If you don't get rid of that problem, then this whole 180 days is just, I mean, it's nothing. It's
Yeah, I never understood the whole like, and they've done this with multiple updates. I feel like you just put a band-aid over an issue. I mean, I think the perfect example is the fact that they fixed the migration by restricting it to, oh, well, you can't just instantly migrate, making it then you can migrate after a month, and then saying, hey, well, now you can join cross-region into alliances. So then people went from, invading regions for like a week, still top commander placements, to then just migrating there permanently for the sake of getting buffs, right? And just having multiple marshals in one alliance, so you just take over massive amounts of regions. So like you basically try to shut one problem by opening up a bigger one. Like, thank you for that. I appreciate you, developers. Knowing this, people are going to find a way to make this into a bigger problem. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to end up being one of those like insane situations where you're like, bruh, come on now. Just honestly at this point, just remove the budding war zone. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm already guessing is gonna happen, because we're gonna have them looking like absolute lunacy. Now, I could understand it if they restricted the regions for 4 months. I just don't get that.
Well, I mean, that's always been the thing to me. As soon as they opened it up for 30 days, it never seemed like enough time. And then this now 6-month delay, right? Federation history of less than 6 months. Don't get me wrong, it's gonna separate. Like I said, it'll give us hopefully better matchmaking in that sense. But I'm also hoping it de-incentivizes players to join those new regions.
I think they just won't care. Like, they're gonna. I mean, like, I get what you're saying, because people are gonna want better rewards, but I don't think the people in Fearless care about that, right? As the same way that people who would go to that smaller bracket wouldn't care about that. Like, they just don't. They just want easy matchups. That's the reason they're Fearless. So it's like, are they really going to be disincentivized by knowing they're going to get slightly worse rewards? Unless you like take away completely removing like armament fragments or even seasonal merit, like whatever the case. Like, I can't imagine it being like that much of a unincentivized factor for people to just refuse migrating to a newer region.
Well,
if anything,
maybe-
I feel like it would incentivize it more, because they're gonna be like, oh, I can finally get some easier matchups.
Well, like I said, and it's going to depend on how they respond to the rewards that you get for the new Warzone. If you're only getting elite armament frags, for example, and you're only getting like 10, points, those 300 mil guys or 200 mil guys can't do anything with elite armament fragments anyways. At least if they had the random legendary fragments, there was something. But if it's only elite, I think something like that is definitely capable of making it, less valuable for their time. I think at least that's what I'm hoping that they're going to address it that way.
They're going to build up some gathering heroes so they can loot more from all the noobs, the plebeians, in the budding war zone. They're gonna be like, oh, thank God, finally I can build up my farming armaments. I spent so much money on all these legendaries. They keep giving me them, and I just can't use them. Like, God damn it.
I can't do anything with them. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, I'm too big already.
In our last GW, we sent a cars rally on one of the younger players and one of the new players who had picked up a super weapon. So he was like 30 million might, and he had a super weapon. So we sent a cars rally. I feel like such an asshole.
We've gotten so big. I'm thinking it, like you mentioning cars. I'm thinking of just killing off all my cars across all my accounts, bro. I might just throw them off, because I literally can't kill them faster than like we're growing in might. So I'm like, should I just drop all of my cars and maybe we'll drop 20-30 million might? You know what I mean? Like, just squeeze in a little bit of somebody's like another player. You know what I mean? I'm just like, bro, we've gotten to that point.
Well, I was
just like, I need to put the prize in the bag.
Well, I just looked at him like the guy had a ton of resources too, so we're like, screw it, we're just sending cars. Everybody send cars. So we sent cars on a rally.
I think I saw a little bit of your final bracket. I only saw the beginning of it when you guys are field fighting. I think it was like, because I think your allies were getting cut off, right? And then you guys started trying to push the field or something. Was that what was happening?
So I don't remember exactly which round it was.
It was the final round. I remember, because I saw it.
Oh,
just
okay.
Round 3.
So if it was the final rounds, then they were just shorter to react to coming to the middle, to building up towers in the middle. And so we all rushed and we were all there. And then originally, so it's kind of funny, the last round we ended up with, we knew ARC, we had some of their players had joined us. So they were, friends within the family. And we had known, and we had reached out to Meur as well, MEUR as well. Because on paper, both of those teams were better and they had already allied. So it was just, it ended up being us and OLT, I think. And so we ended up just allying because that was all that was left. And
You get the handouts.
right, so that's all we had left, right? But But the funny part was they showed up to the field, man. They showed up to fight. And so they were
They're like the strongest, Loki.
yeah, they won the ring, right?
Oh
They won
my
the
God.
whole ring. So we ended up getting it just because, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah, you got that one handed to you, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. It was kind of, but it was I mean, we still had to fight off both. You know, still had to fight off Ark in the main squad to secure second place. But they showed up. You know, they were just as active as we were, and for both zombie times, neither of the other guys showed up, and it was just us. So we started off both, really strong with zombie points, and it was just kind of a lucky situation that happened. But yeah, they basically got cut off, so we had to build straight up and try to defend them in the field, which is a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, if it wasn't for the bots, I wouldn't have been able to heal my hospital 3 times.
Oh no, bro. Dude, we had like 2 first really good rounds. Our first one, I already posted about that, but we took a 3v1 because we didn't want to ally with anybody because we were worried that, one, they wouldn't show up if we allied anybody, so we refused to take allies, and 2, we just wanted a really good fight. So we basically got about 40,000 points off zombies. So we were basically secure because, we only lost, I think, 3 zombies during that period because they were circling us like freaking sharks trying to snipe zombies the whole time. And we like went mid. So we got about 40,000 points, and that kind of secured our placement of the next round.
Yeah.
So when we went to that round, we kind of just decided like aim for kills, and we only held like science up for a bit because we were trying to like just fight over it. We just wanted them to like, feel inclined to fight us over it. But yeah, we had a pretty good fight in the first round. The second round, we fought OSMB, who were absolute freaking titans. Like, I can't wait to freaking post that video because that was fun. Like, I really feel like actually like I'll record a video and it takes me a month to actually edit it because that's just how I am. But these ones, I was like, all right, I gotta post them ASAP because I just like this fight. And then our final round, we expected it to be kind of crazy because we had Ryle, and you know Ryle is, right?
Yeah.
You have them in your Alliance League bracket, and they actually were about to be Apex, but they got pushed out last second by a team because I was watching the rankings. They got pushed out last second by a team that was just trying to go into Apex to sit it out. So I'm like, bro, are you serious? You guys just pushed them into my bracket because you wanted to be some little freaking douchebags?
Oh no.
So I knew Ryle was stacked, right? And I think it was like in WAF, they're like really old friends because they helped us once when we were much smaller. And they were the reason that we actually made it to the last ring in one of our older brackets when we fought Nelly. So they were goated us. So I actually wanted to ally them right away, even if it seemed like a harder fight. And there was like this 4th alliance, which was hell, but they didn't really show up. So basically, we go to fight Ryle, and to be fair, I didn't expect them to show up to the first zombies because they're Russian, right? So they didn't show up to that. The second one, they had one whale show up who just like egoed into our murder ball about like 10 times, which was insane. And then for actual mid fight, they literally all just shielded, bro. They all shielded and just refused to fight. And I was like, bro, are you serious? So I was actually surprised by that because I like if Ryle actually decided to fight us, I wouldn't even say they'd get top first or second, but they would have like freaking run our pockets because they got some insane whales. So I was surprised by that. But normally we just try to aim first or second. Just because we want to get the 3 merit chests, 3 red merit chests, because if you get 3rd or 4th, you get only 2, but it's still good either way. As long as you make it to the last ring, I feel like a winner. You know what I mean? After that, I'm like, all right, all is free game here. But yeah, it was a good Genesis this time around. I was happy, and we picked up a lot of really good players, so we were able to kind of well fight on the field a lot more.
Which is, I mean, Genesis War is one of those things, like, we don't normally do it in GROP just because of the times. Like, the first time is like 10 o'clock for zombies, then it's like 2 o'clock in the morning for the second zombies.
Bro, for me, it's 12 and 4.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, the time is pretty brutal. And so, we don't normally do GW, but this time we were like, because AR was such a kind of a wash for us, we didn't have it wasn't our alliance, but the rest of the Legion basically didn't show up, and it was just kind of like a wash. So we're like, we're gonna play GW instead, and so we did. I mean, we performed really well. I can't complain, we ended up 2nd overall in our ring. Had the last fights were great. But again, I just wish it wasn't so restrictive. Like 2 zombie times that you can't choose, 1 fight time that you can't choose, and if you don't play them, you don't. And like I said, if you don't show up to zombies, I mean, you're already at a huge disadvantage come building times.
I mean, I explained it perfectly. Like, we got 40k points in the first round, like before the even fights happened, just because we did zombies.
Yeah.
And we ended off with 60k, and easily took in like second. We didn't get first because one of the teams had science. They're like 61K. But like the point is like it's zombies are definitely massive. So if you miss those, you're screwed. I
Mhm.
literally had to set like an alarm to wake myself up in the middle of the night just to show the zombies. I'm like, bro, I can't miss it. Oh,
Dude,
gotta set markers and stuff.
dude,
I'm
my
like a
wife
zombie.
got mad at me that I didn't get up and go to, that I missed one. She's like, "You better set your alarm so that you're there." Like
Bro,
I got a
bro.
great wife. She's super supportive, man. It's crazy,
I had to
crazy.
set like I set like 6 to 7 alarms just in case I missed the other five. I'm like, all right. And then I roll out of bed and I have to turn my computer on and set up all the accounts, which is why I'm actually trying to get the sandbox thing. I'm gonna try to get it set up because someone shared it to me, and I was like, please.
Sandboxing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it'll basically auto load all your accounts up, like preload them. Like it'll have to instead of you having to go in one by one and putting in the passwords and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
it'll just preload them all up. And that saved me at least like 10 to 20 minutes, bro. Because
No
goddamn,
shit.
it's so.
Hmm. You
Yeah,
might have to
yeah.
send me
I
the
can send it to you.
deets. Yeah, you might
Yeah, I
have
can
to send me
send you
the
the link too.
deets.
Bro, it's freaking great. But yeah, we show up to every single event because I mean we're just blood hungry, right? Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
show up to every event. Like we don't sit any out, which is one thing I never understood. I mean I get it, but at the same time I don't. You have a lot of teams that go Apex, for example. Like I've seen it with like Top One's a good example. They literally will register at like 20 billion, and then you get one player sitting in front of their like helipad on their towers. And this happens with many teams. Don't get me wrong. Top One was just one team I remembered, and it'll be one player sitting there, and they just refuse to leave their bases to like wipe them out. And I'm like, dude, why not at least fill your hospital up? Like, what is the point of playing like this? Like, I never understood this. Like, I don't know. And that's also one reason we don't like playing Apex. I prefer to play at like the very top of Elite because you got some freaking beefy teams like NTD. I don't know if you've seen those guys. They're
Mm-hmm.
absolute
Mm-hmm.
monsters. You got TPL, you got CatCo, OSMB, freaking monsters. I didn't know they were as strong as they were, but now I do. So next time I see them, I'm gonna beg them for a good ally. I'm joking.
That's right.
But but you got some pretty strong teams at the top, and I think it's like I'm able to like control my matchmaking more because you're getting teams that are more consolidated on fighters who are also all around the same might. So instead of you being like a 20 billion might team meeting SSI like 30 billion might, every team that you meet are within your general might range.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
can you give me a second?
Sure. Okay, so back to it. We were talking about Archipelago Raid, or was it Genesis War? Genesis War. We were talking about Genesis War.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Genesis.
But it was all coming down to the budding Warzone attachment that they've just come
Yeah,
out
yeah.
in the new edition. And I'll be honest, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. Yes, it doesn't address the main thing, but it does give us one of and 180 days, 6 months is a pretty decent time. So it means that we shouldn't see a lot of these like bigger guys with newer ones. I shouldn't be expecting to see some 700 region, hopefully.
Well, then again, you think of it like this: they don't even need to migrate to do it. They just join from another region, right? Like they'll do it, bro. Like you think they're not? I'm telling you, bro. You're gonna be so disappointed unless they like fix migration. I'm telling you, bro. Watch. You're gonna be
I
like,
never
sigh.
thought about
Like,
that.
yeah, yeah. You don't have to migrate to do it either. I mean, you can always just be like, hey, I'm joining, or just have an alliance set up in that region. Like, and even if it's in zone one, and just join for the event, and then boom, you get the easy matchup, bro.
Oh, you are changing my opinion on it, Panda.
Yeah, bro. I gotta make sure you have as crude of a thought process as I do.
That's vicious. But then again, I
It
never
is,
really
bro.
thought about taking multiple marshals for an alliance either. I'm not angry like that.
I mean, well, they're not angry either. They're just competitive on a different level, bro. That's a different level of competitiveness, because
I
like
mean, you got to
you
be
wouldn't
somewhat
imagine.
angry though. Let's be honest. 857 has to be a little angry.
I imagine, but then again, he might want to boost his T1 kills a bit too. So I don't know. I'm like, oh, you're filling that tower? Perfect.
Perfect. 1 million T1
Perfect.
kills.
You don't have a billion. You don't have a billion T1, so you can't stop me.
No,
Like we were
Jesus.
talking earlier, bro. You need that 1 billion base, or it's never gonna work.
Did you read? You read what Armored had put out about that whole 857 altercation about him invading in 758?
Was it the video yesterday? I didn't watch it, but he put a video up yesterday. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
What was the gist of it?
Well, basically, the gist is that 857 basically said this is the last time he's ever invading a region. This is the last place he ever wanted because he just wants a place by himself where he can play by himself and just do his
Oh,
own
you're
thing.
talking about that. Okay, yeah.
And
I
then
know, I know which one.
the
you're talking
next
about.
day, he's in 258 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Invading, helping SSI, like the very
Bro.
next day after saying, I swear I'm never going anywhere again.
I know we talked about it on the stream, but like I did not understand that. He's been through so many regions and he hasn't been able to capture one and just make it his own. Like, if you're gonna invade regions because you want a home or whatever that you can just get your own buffs at, why did you need to invade like 10, 20, 30 regions before you could accomplish that? And you're like, well, I'm never gonna do it again. And watch, he's gonna be in region 857 invading that one.
You know what?
He's like, it's the number on my name. I gotta do it, guys, please.
The game's got to address it though, and I think that's the biggest thing. Until the game itself addresses it and doesn't address it with the updates that we're getting. Like, don't get me wrong, I think adding biochemical beast rewards to the District Alley showdown, good, right? We need more beast stuff. Unfortunately, beasts are starting to be more influential now as they're increasing chips and then soon to be genes. So obviously they have to have more access to creating those biochemical beasts. I get it, but it doesn't address the root problems of the game. It doesn't address the migration issues. It doesn't address the might disparity issues. And it sure as shit doesn't address the matchmaking issues.
I mean, matchmaking, like I said, you got to fix the root of the issue if you really want. Like migration is one of the like probably biggest issues with matchmaking, just because it's caused so many disparities in general. I don't get like, I don't know. And then people are like, well, you need to fix matchmaking. Well, they made the issue, right? They literally made the issue in itself because they wanted to allow like features that make it more scuffed, right? Like even just cross region in itself, people are just going to be joining all these other alliances. I think like one really good point people used to make was like, like you don't have any region unity or alliance unity because you don't need to have it, right? You can instantly migrate at any time. I mean, even Dark Seal is a good example, all right? Like people normally would like try to keep the region well together and stuff, and keep everybody united. But after you remove Dark Seal, it's like what real reason is there, right? I mean, that's the reason people are just kicking everybody out of these regions, because they don't need them. They're like, well, why would I need you in my region, bro? I'm just gonna use it as a marshal title.
They went from a situation where you basically forced the region to work together, which I think was fantastic. I thought that was a great a great part to it. You kind of forced community and forced unity with people. But now that you have multi-regional arena, multi-regional top commander, multi-regional alliances, none of it matters. And since they took away Dark Seal, there's no event to protect your region anyway, so none of it matters.
Yeah, I freaking kind of miss Dark Seal, bro. I would love to play Dark Seal now.
Yeah, I want them to bring it back.
At our digs.
Take AR. Here's the thing. Take AR away for a little bit. Fix it. Revamp it. Do something new. Bring in Dark Seal. Because AR has been here and has been pretty much unchanged. Except for the airdrop things. Has been pretty much unchanged since it was released. So
yeah,
I think it's time AR takes a sidestep and they bring back Dark Seal. It's a perfect plan. Even though I like our AR a lot.
I mean, even if they allow they could keep all the events and just bring back Dark Seal still. I mean, like we got this week off, I mean, like, you could still farm in, like, Zone 2 if you want or whatever, but, I mean, I'm sure some people would be happy with Dark Seal back. There's always going to be people who complain about even just, like, the lack of PvP events. They're going to be like, oh, there's not enough, right? So, I mean, if you really want to satisfy those guys, throw it in there. But honestly, like, I'd even be fine at this point with one every week. Just, make it a little moderate. I mean, Dark Seal, at least, I didn't really feel inclined to fight as much. Like, if I really wanted, I'd hide out in Zone 2 and just, pick some tomatoes.
Yeah, and Genesis War is the same way. If you don't like to, we normally don't play Genesis War anyway, so we normally have 2 weeks off to prepare for IR and AR as it is. So
bro,
give us Dark Seal.
We're always running our pockets. I love Genesis though, bro. The capture rewards, voila. I probably gain more than I lose in that event, bro. It's beautiful.
I'll be honest, Genesis War is growing on me, and this last time that we played it, it was a lot of fun. But it's so taxing because of the times.
Just because the times. Yeah, I freaking the times definitely suck. But as long as you can make them work, it's still fun, right? I mean,
set an alarm if you have to.
I do think I didn't get why they lowered and reduced the Genesis War time. That was one thing that confused me. Like they removed it. They dropped it from I think it originally was like 2 hours, right? When they changed it to one time, right? And then they dropped it to an hour and a half, and now it's an hour. I'm like, bro, why do y'all keep dropping it? And then like they used to have it at 2 different times where you would fight, and now it's only one time. So I don't know. They like changing everything up.
Well, they used to have the fight. It used to be like a 4 o'clock fight and then a 14 o'clock fight, and then they took the 4 o'clock fight away and they made it a 2-hour 14 o'clock fight, and then they took that down to 1 hour and added zombies. It's like Genesis War has always been going through this evolution as it goes.
Yeah, because they used to have they spawned the zombies twice, but I don't remember what times they were. I know the first one was right at reset. Was the second one at 2 UTC, or how was that?
No, it was
they spawned
I think it
them
was
in,
like 4.
Middle between two alliances. No, because you said the main fight was at 4, right? The first main fight. mid fight.
Oh
So I
yeah,
don't know when
yeah.
the
So
second
it
zombie
was
spawned.
the first spawns. The first zombies would spawn at 2. The fight was at
No, it was spawned at
4.
reset. It was spawned at reset right when you went in the map.
Are you sure it was right at reset?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember because we would random port to try to snipe all the zombies
Oh, okay.
before the enemy could get. Because you would try to just go for the super weapon, I believe. I don't know if you got. Did you get? I
It
think you
wasn't
got
a
alliance
guarantee
points
drop. It
actually.
was not a guarantee drop. I know that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was random, and you just had to pray that you got a super weapon, which was actually stupid. Because then, like, sometimes no map, like a map would get no super weapons. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
what did I random port for, bruh? Did I really just pull up over here for nothing? Piss
And
me
then,
off.
it was like I said, it was never guaranteed. It was right between them. It was also a hard place to get to. It was so awkward. The whole process was awkward. It felt
Yeah,
like
and
to me.
that reset is so stupid too because you literally just give the advantage to someone who random ports next to it, right? And just
Hmm.
like instantly kills it, is able to kind of dip with the super weapon. It's like, bro, are you serious?
Hmm.
And then it takes like people who, just spawned in the map, a few minutes to walk down. It's like you don't really give time like you normally want to make these fights kind of based off of like who has better coordination, so on and so forth, who's got like a better just team in general. Bro,
Yeah, yeah.
you make it at 0 UTC, it's not based off that. It's like what whales random porting the fastest, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
And they
who can
just
play
keep the
at reset
zombies.
and who can't.
Yeah, that too. That'd be fair. You can say that about any time, right? Like 4 UTC, 8 UTC.
Sure, but it's
I
like
will say,
when you start them right at
I will say
reset
that
every single time, though, it's like very specific.
I
I
will
look
say
at.
Genesis is much harder. Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
sorry, continue.
I was just gonna
No, I
say.
was gonna say Genesis is much harder to you sorry, you go. You keep like going in and out. All right, you go.
No, you go. You go. Genesis is harder.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say Genesis is much harder in the regard of like you can't just judge people's account builds and be like, oh, okay, this person's not gonna be active, this person's gonna be active. Because if like I've had cases where there are whales who are like super bad fighters, right? They just never show up to fights. But you give them a set time where they need to show up, and they'll show up at Genesis, right? And it's like, well, I'm cooked. You know what I mean? And
Hmm. Hmm.
I like so you can't really like you can't just look at an alliance and judge them always based off of like the average kill count or whatever the case. Because like as long as you give these guys like 3 fight times, a lot of the time, a lot of these guys are just gonna show up for all 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just like
Though I,
it's much
though
harder to
I admit it's
evaluate.
it's one of those things where I look at Genesis and I look at IR for example, and it's like if your team doesn't log in at reset and start at reset, it's super costly. It's super beneficial in IR, for example, to be the first alliance to get your level 6. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that sets the match, sets the mode for the rest of the match, because regardless of how the points go, if it comes down to you having a really bad event, you still have that guaranteed position above the people who, were a little
Capture
bit
their
later
6
to it.
later.
Yeah, right. So there's benefit to being on right at reset in Genesis War and Island Raid. And when they had the zombies specifically right at reset, it benefited the alliances that were specifically on right at reset. So I look at it and I'm like, if that was the case, I mean, if you have a lot of events that are like specific to reset, it's really kind of just as much as 14 o'clock sucks for most North Americans. Reset sucks for a lot for, people on the other side of the world.
That is true. Yeah. I mean, it's just that'll be a issue that we'll never see the end of. Because I mean, you could change the time and then it's just gonna piss somebody else off, right? Like you swap the clock and then you're gonna have other people coming on Discord like, why did you do this? The time was perfect for me. Now
Yep.
I can't. Now I can't make it.
Now
Now
it's
I
not for
can't show
me.
up to zombies. Why?
You can never make
My
everybody
gosh.
happy all the time, but you can make some people happy some of the time, right?
Yeah.
So
Pretty much.
supposedly that's how the saying goes. Anyways, let's get back to the update. We talked a little bit about the important stuff. I mean, the rest of it, the likes and visits to Commander info. Ooh, huge update. Awesome. But I
What
do
was the
want
other
to.
stuff?
Well, they added the quick upgrade for managing survivors. So which
Oh
is
yeah. Thank God.
it's going to be a life-saving thing for me, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but going and
Especially with
clicking
the
upgrades.
accounts.
Yeah.
Multiple accounts especially
It's
like
so
it
annoying.
kills me, bro. Like I've had to do it before and it doesn't fly over my head how annoying it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same with like quests and stuff. Like I don't get why they don't implement that kind of stuff when they originally release it. Like is it that hard to comprehend that people aren't going to want to click 100 times to upgrade or like claim a feature, like claiming all the tasks? Like even in the quest, like they still have it like this. If you claim them, right, it instantly claims all of them, but you still have to click all your boxes one by one. Like why is that a feature? Why don't I just click one box and it claims every single box? Or why doesn't it instantly give me the rewards from the boxes after I claim the rewards? You get what I mean? Like
I
just make
do.
it easier. Like why do
But
you gotta
you want.
make stuff so difficult? We already got a million things to click on. Like God
I
damn.
have an answer for that, okay? And it comes down to
You
the
want to keep
fact.
going with the game long.
No. It's not even to do with that. It's because you get people pissed off about it enough, and they will be willing to spend $5 a month to never have to click the accept reward for the Alliance gift boxes.
That is true.
You see what I'm saying?
I used
You'll
to,
spend
I
the
used to set up an
$5.
autoclick for that.
Yeah, you'll spend the $5 a month to never have to do your radar station store again. You see what I'm saying? You will spend it because there's so much to collect. They know that that red dot is so freaking annoying that we have to clear it so bad that they're going to give us more ways to click. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a mental game, dude.
To be fair, I'm actually used to the red dots. Like I would get so many friend requests back in the day. I just started I just forgot it existed, right? I mean, the same works with Alliance gifts and stuff. I kind of just get to it when I get to it. I will say the only reason I actually get the subscription, that's one of the only things they normally get. Only reason I get the subscription for the Alliance gifting isn't even because I want to claim the gifts all at once. It's just because of the 5% reduction.
Yeah.
If there wasn't for the 5% reduction, I wouldn't get it. I mean, like I just would not claim Alliance gifts. Honestly, I would just let them fester, bro. I couldn't.
Oh.
You couldn't catch me. I don't know, bro.
Couldn't catch me clicking at 75,
It's tough,
90, 120 times.
Yeah. I don't even want to set up an auto clicker at this point. Like you're just making me do backflips for you. Like, nah, I'm good off that, bro.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm good
no
off
shit.
that, cuzzo.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I do have to give them credit, right? So they did add the quality of life upgrade. I think that's going to be a huge help because having to click each individual survivor and click upgrade is a big pain in the ass. So this will be nice. But I really want to know what your opinion is on the pacing for new commanders that they put out. Have you gone through the details on that?
I looked at the stuff. I know they also, I think, added like maybe new features. I'm not sure. I know some people are sharing like screenshots on Discord, like actual like I guess like beginner stuff, but it was just kind of like normal tutorial level, I guess, growth or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but yeah, I did look at that.
It's kind of interesting because I've been watching them as the beginning game kind of evolves, and it's interesting to see like if you start a brand new account now, how much the game has changed over the last 2 years compared to what it was before when you started a brand new account. You know what I mean? Like you're not doing Peggy anymore, you're doing Nora, so that part's different. The whole stages is different. It's not like you're doing the Z-Virus adventure anymore. It's more like you're doing that side scroller, up and down game, right? So they've added mini games to it. The whole design of the game is entirely different at the beginning of it.
Yeah. I mean, when I started, I remember I would make like little baby accounts, and it literally only took you a minute to do everything, and then you could access the map. Like I could skip through all the tutorial and stuff. Like, bro, that was the heyday for me. And now it takes you gotta do all this stuff around your base. You have to do all the mini games. You have to go through a full freaking square around your base to do all the mini games. Like, I can't be bothered, bro. I just
it's
I just want to blow my brains out, bro.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
insane
God.
the difference.
It makes me cry.
So I have to agree that, or I have to look at the optimization that they've done for this pacing and look at it because it goes both ways, right? Some of them they've increased, some of them they've lowered. So Biochemical Beasts, for example, now unlock at 17 instead of level 12, and the technology for Support Beast unlocks at HQ 25 instead of just unlocking it in technology, right? So you have to unlock it.
Yeah, and do you know what level armaments used to be unlocked at?
Yeah, it used to be 24 for armaments.
25, I thought, right?
No, it was 24.
I thought it was 25. Okay, well, yeah, they dropped it to 20. So I mean,
yeah. So armaments are coming out earlier, which is great. Vehicles are later though. Like vehicles, I remember used to be, wasn't it like 18 or something?
You're definitely right because I feel like I have my vehicles at least unlocked on these accounts. Yeah, I do. So I mean, yeah, it does seem like that. Though to be fair, I don't know. Well, actually, no. Wait, I don't know if I have it unlocked up here. So maybe it's actually coming out earlier because I have this farm account at headquarters 20 and I don't see it anywhere unless I'm tripping. Yeah, I don't see it at all. So I don't know. Maybe it's earlier then. What the heck? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're pushing up stuff earlier. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, some of them. I mean, like I said, the beasts are going later. Those are 17 instead of 12.
Yeah,
and I know that.
Who cares about beasts, bro? Unless you're a whale, who cares, bro? I'm not gonna lie.
The developers care. Hey, did I tell you I finally finished my elite Pango? Not the legendary one. I'm not a whale, but I finally finished my. Yeah, well, it's level 97, but it's fully developed, except for the last.
Even the pristine life?
Except for the last 2 levels of pristine life, but everything else is 100%.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's like creeping there, man.
Did you spend a bit on that, or was that like?
I've literally just dumped everything that I've gotten for beasts. I dumped into it because I was the garrison head, right? I was the garrison main, and I've come to realize that
the main honcho.
Yeah, and I come to realize that the Garrison Beast and the Rally Beasts are really the only ones that you really want to work on a lot. So that's what I did. That's what I did.
Yeah, as of now, unless they change it up, there's no real reason to work on the other ones. I mean, like I could understand maybe if you're, maybe trying to combo with other beast, but even then, I've seen people just running double like legendary garrisons or even double like legendary rally combos. They don't care about the other ones, bro. They just only have the physicals, bro, and they're just running them,
Which is weird to me because
crashing towers.
what I've started to realize is I think the beasts. I look at it this way. I look at the only thing that matters is rallies and garrisons, and every other beast is there to support the way that you want it to. You see what I'm saying? Although you're going to end up in a scenario where, like, I match my pangolin, for example, with the general crab because I want to do crit combo or crit counter and combo damage. That's my whole premise. I want to do all three. Just give me 1 second here. So, anyways, we were talking about beasts, and I wanted to mention I do like to pair. I do like to think of it as every other beast is a good pair for the pangolin or the undead bull or the bull because it gives you more flexibility. But in truth be told, in the fields and stuff like that, until we see some massive changes, you're right, they're kind of useless unless you're a whale.
Yeah.
So I can definitely appreciate that. But yeah, but getting them out there and things like that. I still like the fact that they're addressing the time for those younger accounts because having them be able to catch up faster, I think, is going to be important to keeping them playing longer.
Yeah, I can understand that. Especially like armaments and stuff. I never understood unlocking it so late. That didn't make no sense to me. Like you could only unlock them once you hit like what T5? Like how does that make sense? Or like once you had the potential to unlock T5.
It was very ones, especially with how important they are. Like even now, armaments are like I still think probably the most important thing in regards to your
they're still
your
up
individual
there.
marches. So having them at 20 now is good.
Yeah, I mean that and workshop definitely, still the most important. I mean beasts are up there, but I still wouldn't go beasts over, my armaments on workshop any day.
Nope, not anymore.
Especially if you're not like a garrison.
Yeah, not if you're a garrison main or a rally lead. If you're just a field fighter or a filler, then you don't really, in my opinion, just let your beasts grow organically. Don't spend on them at all right now.
Yeah, and then you just save for when they actually get important and you know what to focus on. Because then people are going to have kind of the knowledge to guide you, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Towards, not to mention, like, obviously, what's it called? If you work on, like, a garrison beast or you work on another beast right now, and then later on, like, they introduce, like, genes, and maybe genes have some sort of reason that they're only this and this good, then you're gonna be like, well, damn, I really screwed myself over. Then again, you do kind of want to work on beasts at the same time for beast invasion, because then you end up missing out on a ton of rewards if you don't like get your beasts up significantly, to be able to do beast invasion, I suppose.
That's true. I mean, obviously you still want to put some into it, but I think letting them, like, it's still okay to let them grow organically. You don't have to spend money on them, right? You don't have to spend any of that kind of stuff. Just let them, and so in their update where they're providing more beast stuff, right? They're providing more beast stuff to the District Alley in District Showdown. So more opportunities to achieve beast stuff is great, but all I'm saying is that you don't need to spend money on beasts right now, especially if you're not a whale or anything like that, or a big spender. Still focus all of your resources on your armaments and obviously on your vehicles, because that's super important. Your workshop.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So the last point they had here was just the Arena of Doom optimizations. They're adding Glory Silver and Glory Gold tiers to the Arena of Glory. I don't think that really matters much.
I just was like, okay, like I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, I'm never
really
down that
impact me
low.
much.
Yeah, I'm never down that low. I'm not sure about you, but I'm never down in Glory Silver or Glory Gold. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. Like, it's not gonna touch me. So I'm just kind of like I'm gonna live my same best life as I always have,
yeah.
hitting little noobs in the top.
So I'll be honest. I mean, the overall changes to this is kind of lackluster. I mean, the changes to the new players,
Yeah, most
obviously,
of our-
the development pacing, I think, is going to be good for newer alliances or new accounts. But I think the rest of it, like you mentioned, the budding Warzone, I don't think is going to be a big change overall. And I mean, the last point, the Glory and Silver, Glory Gold for Arena Glory is kind of useless. So the biggest thing is going to be a change for new players, and I'm hoping that that's going to give them some more chance to stick around. Because with this immigration factor, I mean, that first 30 days is so very important to determining whether you're going to stick around or not.
Yeah, I mean, and now that you're talking about new players, it kind of made me think about it. Do you know the guy who bought the Chung Ha account? I don't know why I just thought about this. Did you see that?
Yeah, didn't she sell for like 16,000 or something?
I heard that was the price, or like 15 or 16,000. But do you know who bought it? Like I
No.
think we talked about it on the stream, but like it was a guy who has a 189 or 198 ID who is 300 million my It was a new baby account guy. So you know that account's gonna be spending like crazy. The new guy is gonna be wailing out. Oh, he's the leader of the
Oh,
alliance right now on his little farm account. Look in region 472, Hors or HORS. The leader account. Look at the account name Maxa Farm 1987. And you know, like if he was still spending on this account, it'd be even bigger. But you know, he doesn't need to because he's got the Changha Monster 600 million account now and rank 3. So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you see that? That
yeah,
is
300
crazy.
million. Jesus.
It's too bad he didn't start a few weeks later. He would have had a 2-0 ID and it would have looked cooler.
Yeah, it would have
Would
looked
have
a
been
little bit
he
nicer
can
than
flex.
that, but
He could have flexed a little more, bro, with the 2-0 ID. Like, come on now.
white
Now I
parts
can
at
only say you're 198.
198.
Like what a noob, what a scrub. But yeah, that is crazy. Does he have all white parts or no? Just some.
Just he's
So
got
that's
his
300 mil.
backpacks is full of white parts.
Yeah, it's still 300 million might. Like God, bro. I heard during Archipelago raid because I was watching I think he was like he jumped up like 10 million kills because apparently from what I heard, people clicked on him and they saw he was I don't know if like I think they burned their tower or something, right? And he was maybe off territory. I think they swarmed him because they clicked on his account and thought he was weak because he had like 40 million kills or something.
Yeah.
And then I was told he went up like 10 million kills because they went to swarm him and he like I guess he ate them alive or something. I don't know how that worked, but that was so stupid. Like, you just look and you're like, oh, he's only got 40 million kills. Yeah, you didn't check his ID, buddy. Like, like, and even then, he's 300 million might. You're gonna swarm a 300 mil just because he's like maybe weaker on the weaker end. Like, you're suicidal to me. I can't do that.
300 mil is still 300 mil. Listen, I get it.
Yeah.
Looking at kills does matter a little bit. Okay, I'll give you a prime example. When we were looking today at Pompeii, our opponents, there were a couple that were like 190 million, 200 million might, but like, 100 million kills. 80 million kills. And they definitely weren't near as potent as tier 6, 200 mil fighters as you would expect them to be. But on the same breath, Chad is 220 million might, 170 million kills. And he's rocking a 6.9 million Rubina. So like you're not
So it's like they got the like you're trying to fight a guy with a sleeper build. You know what I mean? You're fighting a losing battle basically. And like you're cooked.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, man, watching those trades, like the counter damage was sick on those trades. To see, he was taking like 3,000 damage, dealing like 6,000 damage to the main target, and dealing like 2,000 counter damage to everyone that was swarming him. So the points were just insane continuously. So it's like as soon as they would kill the rally because they would spend everybody rally or swarming it. So we would just recall and resend again because they were having such a problem dealing with it. Just instantly just recall, resend.
You know, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
I freaking must be convenient for you guys too. Finally having like a strong rally like that.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's nice to. I mean, we picked him up. He kind of just joined us on a whim to join us for a couple of events. But he's kind of just stuck around, which has been really nice. Just kind of the way that it's worked out. And I've always been that kind of open with everybody though. Like, come and play with us. If you succeed, if you do well, then stick around. If you don't want to play with us, then you don't have to. Like, I'm not I'm not going to force people to play where they don't want to play where you want. But it's just been nice that he's chose to stick around. And I guess it just kind of shows that we're going in the right way. We're not in elite status yet. I don't think we're that, we're not up to that standard yet. But rocking at the top of Fearless is okay for now.
It depends where you land in elite, honestly. You guys could do fine if you don't get the treatment you got last time, honestly. I will say, like, we I know you were talking about like letting people play with you. We don't mind that either. And honestly, that reminds me of this one player we picked up recently. And it's not anybody crazy. The only reason I gave them like one chance because I just felt kind of bad. I was on Discord and they were like complaining that nobody will recruit them, right? And it's because their kills, like to their might, isn't that good. And I'll tell you how it is. They basically have 135 million might with only 36 million kills. I will say like 6.5 million T6. The ratio is okay-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like saying the only reason their kills are so bad is because they waited till they were T6 to really start fighting. And they were like, well, I haven't been able to like, they were like, nobody will recruit me now though. And I'm like, well, yeah, no, obviously. But I do feel a little bit bad thinking about it because I kind of understand where they're coming from. And I was like, we'll give you a chance. Like, I'll give you one event to make sure you prove yourself. Because, like, I can't give them more than one event because realistically, we have kind of gotten so big to the point where it's like, like you being here for multiple events is going to set us back, right? That's 135 million. That's one T6 player we potentially could have who's very actively filling rallies, filling towers and stuff. So I did give them a chance. I was like, I'll let you pull up if you want. You can, you can show your magic. All right. We'll see if you
If you can hang with
have
the
the
big
right to stay
boys.
here. But yeah, and then my recruitment officer Mecca got pissed at me. He was like, "Why did you let this person out?" I'm like, "Hey man, I'm just chill. Don't kill me. Just give them a chance, bro.
Don't kick me
Give him a
out,
chance." He
boss.
hates when I literally, bro. He hates when I let people in. Like I have to usually get his permission about anybody, but I just gave him a chance. So I was like, "Dude, chill, man. Just
Yeah.
don't ride my meat off that, buddy."
Well, I look at it and I
Yeah.
go, because I can appreciate in a lot of situations. I mean, I've been in alliances, for example, where they don't let you fight unless you're a certain way. They don't allow you to play Pompeii. They don't allow you to play, they won't register you for IR. They won't let you play AR unless you're a certain might. Like, I've been in those restrictive alliances, so I understand that is the way for some places.
We don't restrict like that.
Yeah, but I mean,
Not
I've seen
mine.
it. It's crazy. Like, I've got. I just ended up with a bunch of people now that just joined us because the last alliance they were in would only register 11 people for Pompeii, even though they had more people that wanted to play. And I'm like, there's a certain understanding to not signing up 37 players. I can appreciate not signing up more than what you need to play with. But if you're only signing up 11 players and you have 5 or 6 others that want to play and you're not letting them, like that's disgusting in my opinion. So
Like,
I look
we
at
could restrict ourselves
Sorry, go
and
ahead.
have more fun, but win a lot more. But it's like, what is the point? Everybody's just here to have fun.
Exactly. I mean, and it's free. It's a free event. Let them play.
Exactly. Like it's a game at the end of the day, right? We're here for fun ultimately, and like especially for an event like that, like it doesn't cost you anything. Just let them go buck wild, play like
Exactly.
little lunatics if they want to.
And so
All right,
with
but
these
sorry, I
guys,
cut you off.
no, it's totally fine. And so I went with these guys and I basically explained, I said, look, you're totally welcome to give it a shot here. See how it's like, see if you like it, see if it meshes with you. Here are our guidelines, right? Here are our rules. If those work for you, you're welcome to come give it a shot. If it doesn't work for you, I'll let you know and you'll move on from there. Is it going to suck? Sure. But guess what? You understand the parameters coming in. If you don't perform for the main events that we participate in, I mean, you effectively get a couple of shots. You get AR and IR. You get 2 chances. Because I can still understand. I can still understand that real life is a bitch. But for the most part, if you can't perform, then I'll look to replace you fairly quickly.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, like I don't know, I get there's situations, right? Like if you have a situation, you message me and you tell me like, hey, I wasn't able to come for this, but otherwise it's like you don't really have an excuse. You know what I mean? Like especially when like you have pretty active fights. Like I feel like we actively have a lot of fights in basically every event we go into. I mean, there's occasions where teams will just refuse to fight, so I can't really like be like, hey, you're kicked because you have 0 points. No, you're not kicked because nobody would fight you. You know what I mean? Like so it's
exactly.
like there's exceptions, but it's not the rule. It's just. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like
We've gotten kind of big. We're trying to
mean,
be restrictive on who we let in.
You guys are for sure. You guys ended up with HMB in your Pompeii. Yeah.
Oh my god.
What are you guys at 11, 12 billion now?
We registered at 13 bill. Or do you mean like our might like overall?
Yeah, what's your overall might right now?
Well, okay, so it's a little tricky. Right now we're almost at 11 bill. Though to be fair, some of these are farms. We could probably drop at least like 1 billion off farms, maybe 2. We do have some other players who joined simply for the like dice event and stuff. So there's that. I mean, I don't mind because I don't mind getting into Apex for the dice event. Like, give me that, bro. Those are free red merit chests, bro. We haven't done dice event in Apex yet. That's all I want, bro. Like, I don't even care about competing there. I just want to get some free freaking red merit chest, bro. That's the only event I want to go to Apex.
I never really thought about that.
But,
it's like that one or the other beast one. I have no problem with the one.
Is there another event for?
Yeah, not the Beast Invasion, but the what's that other one that they just the one that you have to go through up to Broadway and you have to like beat people PvP. Called...
I know what you're talking about, but you don't get like you don't have war zones for that. It just depends how lucky you are, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't tell you how matchmaking works, bro. You can't figure that one out, bro. Matchmaking's forever mysterious, buddy.
District
never.
Showdown. What a joke. That better not be the DS replacement, or I swear to God.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna bring back DS. They just type in DS, so you think it's Dark Seal. We'll bring back. We'll be introducing DS soon, revamped. We
Revamped
got war zones
DS.
and everything.
Oh,
And people
God.
look at it and they're like, oh my gosh, they got war zones and everything for Dark Seal. This is amazing. And you just get District Showdown. They're like, all right, throw your
Monopoly.
dice.
Monopoly.
Monopoly. You opened up the Monopoly board. Have fun, everybody. Oh, don't forget, there's the mysterious merchant that pops up every 3 steps.
Fuck that
There's a pack
mysterious
right there.
merchant, man. There's
Oh
another
my
one.
gosh,
Just
it's
get a
so
pack.
annoying for the beast one too, bro. It just keeps cutting you off because it just pops up every little once in a while. Oh, there's a pack right here, guys. Like, and they're not even good value. Like,
No.
at least give me a freaking good value pack. Like, how are you gonna have a bunch of mysterious merchant packs come up and then they're like some of the worst value I've seen in this game? Like, are you serious right now? Like,
And then hyper remind me. Like, if I have one up already, don't give me another one. What is the? I've
yeah,
already
don't give me
got.
another 10 mysterious merchants. Like, I don't like. You think I'm gonna buy that pack 10 times? Like I'm already getting scammed if I buy it once. Like,
Yeah, that's right. I'm not
come
even
on,
buying
dude.
it once. Little 9 additional times.
Trying to break my legs in.
Speaking of breaking legs,
insane,
we
bro.
should segue a little bit to the topic of the hour that most people have been asking us about. They want to know what happened in, was it 258? 253?
258, yeah.
Yeah, 258.
258,
They want to know what happened, what was all involved there, and how we got pulled into a 7-hour stream.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, I can explain how it started. So it's funny. I basically woke up and I just type in Armor Red's chat because I just see like a notification on my phone. Armor Red is streaming. And I just type bruh, like literally just bruh. I was like, bro, I just wake up and I just see a bunch of war and I was just like, bruh. And then like Armor just starts asking because I think he's streaming about 2 hours at this point. He asked for like if I want to join the call with him, and you know, I understand how hard it can be, right? And how taxing it can be to like literally stream without anybody to commentate or anything and like help you out. Because if you're just talking by yourself to the chat, like at some point it becomes hard unless there's like just super interactive in chat that you're able to kind of go back and forth with. And even then, like there's only so much kind of substance you have. So I just wanted to say, like, I understand why you asked that, you know, like
For
you
sure.
need you need a little bit of support. And then like it's also just it's a lot in your vocal cords. You're like, God damn, I'm gonna drop. But yeah, I jump in there and I throw him the invite to like our actual Prime Discord server. And I was in a call with this with one of my R4s, Crow, which I know you met him.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, all right, you, because I asked him, I was like, do you want to be in the call here? And he was like, oh yeah, I don't care, bro. But I basically throw him in the chat, and then you message me, and you're like, yo, send me the invite. And
Well-
then Z messages me. He's like, throw me the invite too, bro.
So here's my thought process, and it was kind of, I'll be entirely honest, there's a little bit that was a little bit I was a little bit angry, a little bit sad, but after that it was totally understood, because he came to you as soon as you hopped in. He was like, hey Panda, come help me. And I assume it's because you guys have either had history before, or like because of the fact that
Yeah,
you're Panda.
we've called before. We've called before. Remember,
Yeah,
like
so-
even when like Safe Me Invaded, he did like, you know, calls and
Yeah, so you guys have had
interactivity.
history before, right? I was in that
Yeah,
chat
we chatted.
45 minutes before you got there. Motherfucker never asked me.
I mean, were you still active when I chatted? Because maybe you just
Yeah.
decided like, okay, well,
No,
now
I
get
was
to
there
know-
the whole
then I
time.
don't know.
I was
Yeah,
there
well,
the
to be
whole
fair,
time.
like you said, yeah, we were pretty. We talk a bit, right? I mean, even like, I mean, I don't know if you saw this video about like the content creator prize and stuff, but like we
Yeah.
even like talked on Discord about that, and you know, he posted some of my screenshots in there. So like, yeah, we talk a little bit. If we need,
I
like,
totally
share
had
anything or-
no problem with it, right? And the only reason I even asked for it as soon as he messaged you asking for help, I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's not just that he wants, like, he needs other people in there to be able to help him. And I didn't know what your whole situation was, so I said, fuck it, send me the link. Let's turn it into something and see what happens. And then yeah, Z showed up,
Yeah, bro. And then Z jumps in, bro. Like, what are
Jesus.
the odds, bro?
That was so tight.
Oh my gosh.
But
Man,
that-
we gotta thank SSI for that, bro.
I know.
The
Thank you,
round table of
SSI.
YouTubers.
Absolutely. Bring us all
Our
together.
R3Rs are gonna be like, fuck you guys. Thanking SSI. Oh
But-
no.
But I mean, to be honest, that entire thing really started over a lot of personal stuff. Like, I mean, from what I understand, from reading through the text and from reading through everything else, in my opinion, both sides suck here. You know what I mean? Like, both sides are kind of in the wrong. Not R3R per se. They're kind of just collateral damage. But I'm talking the side of Rogue versus SSI. Like,
yeah, I would say this. I do agree with like Rogue trying to defend these regions a lot of the time, but like the SSI reaction to what Rogue did, I understand.
That's right.
I didn't really get them going to R3R at the same time because it's like Rogue was in 314, but then again, Rogue does stay in like 258 a lot. To me, that was just their way of getting back at them. I do
Mhm.
wonder how they got in mid though. Like, I don't know how they got in zone 3, but they got a freaking insta fort drop that was,
Pretty impressive. Right in the middle, you know.
yeah, somebody's alliance.
But I think you said it right. I look at a lot of it as both sides kind of suck. SSI responded to Rogue's like the way I look at it is Rogue was poking the bear, and the bear responded. The only difference is the bear kind of responded on everything. Do you know what I mean? Like it just kind of jumped on everything.
And it's also kind of a thing of like the bear goes to everybody's houses, right, and steals their honey, right?
Yeah.
And then Rogue goes to their house and he steals their honey. No, not even their honey. He steals like half a jar of honey because you know he just went and like harassed a little bit, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, "Hey, now we're going to your house to steal your honey. Like we know you keep trying to stop us from stealing other people's honey, but now that you've stolen our honey, we're pissed off."
Yeah. Now
So
it's
I don't know.
personal.
Like I get why he would go there, but at the same time, like, is it worth it, bro?
Well, and I
Is
think
it worth it, bro?
I think that
Oh,
question
no.
is really what matters because once you get to the spending powers of SSI and once you get to the spending powers of those guys, like it really doesn't, it's inconsequential. Do you know what I mean? At that point, they're doing it because of the ego. They're not doing it to win anything over. They're not doing it to win it or guarantee any points or earn gold or anything like that. It's costing them resources, but they're doing it for
To
an
prove
ego
something.
push.
It's like to send a message,
Yeah.
right? They're like, F around and find out.
Now-
That's basically what they're trying to say.
Now, do you know why they
Crazy.
left?
So from what I heard, because Rogue said this I actually saw him say this in English chat. He said that they said if he left the region, they would like I guess leave themselves because like it's probably too costly for them at some point, or they couldn't just stay there like for a week plus trying to fight this guy. And it was kind of funny as well because I know Rogue even mentioned it. He wasn't even in the region when they invaded, right? He was in literally region 314. I think that's Lost region, right?
Yeah.
But he was in their region and they invaded the region and then they tell him like, hey, if you leave this region, we're gonna leave. It's like, bro, you came here and forced me to come here just for you to tell me to leave and then you'll leave. It's like, why are you giving me an ultimatum to fix an issue that you started kind of thing, right? It's just kind of stupid to me.
That
But
is
yeah,
kinda
basically I
stupid.
guess they just told him to leave. Yeah, because I know he joined there for the event. I know Rogue kind of hops a lot of regions because I see him like even like if it's for an event, which is sometimes weird to me because I know he has his farms in like 258, so it's like why go to like 314 to like be in the region for the event? I mean, like when you can just cross join. I don't know, that's just me though, so it confuses me a little bit when I see that kind of stuff. But yeah,
Well-
he wasn't 314, so I don't know why they didn't
Why
just
they
harass him
why
there.
I think it's only because they've seen him in R3R a lot. Like I've said, you know, so when I
Yeah,
noticed it was
the region.
R3R, I'm like I look at R3R as kind of I've seen Rogue in R3R
alliance.
probably more than any other one.
Yeah. Not to mention, I will say, I know Lost is actually much stronger because they got like Swipe Me, I think. They have the Z guy who's a pretty big beast. And then they probably get you like more connections than like in general, right? I know they have like, it says like INF, I believe, as their allies who are monsters, right? It's not like in general, it's like they got more connections. So maybe they just decided R3R was kind of the better hit option. But Rogue did not stop, bro. That guy was fighting like an absolute wildebeest, bro.
Man, they
Oh
have
my
such a
gosh.
different mindset. I cannot get like wrapped around that mindset because the amount of loss you have in a regional war just blows my mind. Number one, it's 40. If you don't have the subscription, it's 45% loss outside of your
Well,
aid station.
Let me say this. The returns don't actually apply, I believe, to normal deads. I think it only applies if your hospital overflows. So like if you're getting like deads in the field or if you get zeroed or something. I don't believe that you dying in a tower results in them going to the aid station. I could be wrong if somebody
Oh,
wants to correct me in
you
the comments.
mean like if you put in so the troops that die unless your hospital is already full, you're not going to the aid station.
Yeah, like overfill. You know, like for example,
I-
you getting zeroed right in your base burn. So I don't think you get them from just filling a tower. So those people, I don't think we're getting those returns.
Yeah,
based
no,
off
I
that.
remember that because I was talking to because Armor has mentioned that he had 300,000 or whatever that had been dead. Then his aid station wasn't full, or there was nothing in his aid station. He had lost troops and deaths, so that probably makes sense. Which makes it even worse
Yeah.
to fight in your own region.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
mean,
bro.
this makes it even
Like,
more painful. And I can understand now
and
why
there's a
Save
hot
Me was only there for like 2 seconds.
and there's a cap too at what gets returned to your aid station. Too, like I think around 900K if you're like maxed off, you got like subscription. So like if you get burnt and you get more than that many dead, right? You're just cooked at that point. You're just
Yeah,
cooked. Anything you get after that is like, oh,
864,000 for me.
yes, like have a good day, sir. I think the reason Safety was there for so little time, from what I heard, because I have somebody who I know in DHX. They said it was because they had like Jinzo and stuff in DHX for Genesis War, and I believe they just wouldn't fight if he was there. Plus, I think he just wanted to resolve it peacefully, from what I heard. Like he was just
Mhm.
trying to find a resolution, and once there was no resolution after a little bit being in the region, he just kind of left. At least that's what I was told, so I can't say that
Mhm.
for sure, but so I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
Which
think
is
I remember
surprising
hearing
because
the same
Safety is the
thing.
type to just whale fight, you know what I mean? So I was just like, huh. Seeing him leave was kind of crazy to me because him and Rogue were doing work, bro. They were going
Yeah.
crazy. The
As soon
combo
as
is
he
insane.
landed, it was kind of funny, and I think this is probably one of the only times that I can see the actual community rallying behind Save Me. Do you know what I mean? Like he landed and there were
And then
audible
not for long because he just
cheers.
left so fast.
Like he got
Oh
there
my
and people
gosh. And
like
then he just
cheered
left.
for him, and then he left. Like it was, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
literally. In and out, bro. Like
classic Save Me.
he definitely he definitely said, I'm not staying in. He said I'm pulling out.
Yeah, as long as there's no resolve, okay, peace. You guys fight it out. All right, well, and they
You guys
did. They fought it
have a
out.
good time. Yeah, they
Bye.
were,
Have a good
dude,
time.
bro. Rogue was resilient, dude. He was sitting there all day, just.
Fuck,
I don't
Rogue's
even
a
think he went to
beast.
sleep, bro. I don't think that guy went to sleep. I think he just sat there, just like bags under his eyes, just like I'm gonna see this through the end. And it's so
Coffee
hard
in
too because you have
hand.
multiple SSI guys who are able to just shift themselves, right? And just take turns at who's gonna fight you. Not to mention the difference between them is like SSI already has a enough willpower to win most of their matchups, even without like Ace in them, right? Whereas like missing Rogue and like Lost, right, is such a massive deterrent, or like sorry, like it hurts them a lot more, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just in general, like you're also just hurting your alliance, like, whoever you register with for an event,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
way more.
No, that would make sense. It's just unfortunate that it ended up costing so much because, like I said, the people from R3R, I don't think they really deserved what they got handed to them by any stretch.
Nah, that's messed up, bro.
So,
It's also one reason I'm actually in a group chat that I know Rogue's in, and people were like offering to help, I believe, and he just like was denying them because he didn't want them to waste their troops, which I just found kind of nice of him. I mean, it's also the same thing. Like I remember when Sapien was invading Region One, I had some people offering to help, and like the reason we backed up so fast is because it was just kind of like, is it really worth holding these towers until we get real support? Right? We need actual whale power that's going to be able to hold up a tower or actually rally or whatever the case, because if we just ego hold, you're literally fighting like Save Me and Cassandra. Save Me at 1 billion might. Cassandra I think at the time was like 500 mil. They could send a rally and just double swarm, trade vastly better, have deeper wallets, so their one troop that they lose is worth like, let's say 5 of our troops, right? Even if we're trading 1 for 1, it's still kind of the same thing to me, right?
mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like, I just felt like it was better to wait. That's also one reason we backed up, and it was also the reason I was turning people down, because I'm like, you shouldn't come here and waste your troops, at least not until we got like proper help. Like, Hands was a good example, or like, the guys from ROK.
Well,
You know,
I mean, not only
they
that,
went out
but
there.
ideally, even an invading force only has so much. I mean, they're basically going to burn out very quickly, right? They land, they hit very hard for a short time, but then they run out of resources and it's hard for them to expand, right?
Yeah. Plus, you don't have good tech, right? Usually you don't have heal bots as well. So that's the difference. I also noticed that with like Rogue's team, like they obviously have heal bots, whereas like, like Ace's team and stuff, they can't even heal properly, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a real struggle. Like imagine trying to field fight that absolute wildebeest, and you're just like having to burn through double your speed ups or something. Because
That actually brings up a really
yikes.
good point. And I had an interesting conversation with one of my players inside of my alliance recently in regards to the importance of healer bots. And I wanted to get your opinion on it because this is something that I've been hearing a little bit. It's not necessarily a huge belief, but it's definitely something. It's not the first time I've heard it. People talking about healer bots not being important in an alliance. What is your perspective? Do you think that healer bots are important in a fighting alliance?
I mean, if you don't have them, you're basically just asking to be shut down with the other teams, right? You're just asking to be left behind. I don't really, I don't know. That perspective is just insane to me.
Right?
I can't ever get behind it.
It doesn't make sense to me. The concept was this. They told me that they believe the people who run healers are nothing more than are doing nothing more than flicking a switch. So it's no big deal. Anybody can do it. And, the people that run the healer bots don't deserve recognition for running bots. Now, I can appreciate you thinking that healers might not be important if you don't use them, or if you have an unlimited wallet where you can literally spend to heal your troops all the time. I get that. But we can understand and probably agree that not everybody has a wallet that's deep, correct?
Yeah, and I mean, like, you're technically opening your wallet up just to run those bots based off
Yeah.
how much internet you're consuming off your house. So
Yeah, internet.
I'd have to disagree with that.
Power, time. I mean, you have to have a good PC.
Yeah.
You can't just run them on anything, right?
Yeah, which also, and I'll say this, like, you're sometimes restricting yourself, like how much you're able to play properly, because you're trying to, like I know, like, we have this one guy, and basically you'd have to restrict like how much you're able to play if you want your computer to be running the bots properly. Like, if you want to play on your computer, obviously, like, you probably can't just pop in unless you're using a specific like client or program that makes it where you can play and have them run, right? But just in general, right, like, you're literally restricting yourself for your alliance.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are you going to insult your the guys who are doing this for your team so everybody can excel? It's like giving sneakers to a bunch of shoeless people who are trying to run track, right?
I mean, it's true. It's true. And don't get me wrong. If you already own the nicest shoes and you can afford to buy new shoes every time you run around the run around the ring, then sure, you probably don't care about giving shoes to everybody else. But this is in my opinion, this is a team game, and the amount of people that are going to benefit from those healer bots. So to anybody listening out there, if you don't have them in your alliance already, and you want to be more competitive and you want to do better, do yourself a favor and get them. Create them yourself. Go out and buy a service if you have to. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, they are so beneficial. They allow you to heal 2,000 troops at a time. You can clear your hospital in 45 minutes to an hour and get back in the game and start fighting and continue using troops. They are so quintessentially important. And I literally, I was, and the only reason I bring it up because I was so in shock to hear this perspective already. And I really wanted to know what others kind of think about it. So it's good to know that you agree that they're important. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a lunatic, I promise.
Thank God. And I'm not crazy. I think I know what I'm talking about a little bit. Though I did give him bad news recently, and I feel bad about it. He started an AL mission today where he had to buy a $50 pack. What they don't tell you is that as you get higher in Alliance League, the cost to the pack mission
$50?
$50. You have to buy a $50 pack. And I was telling him which one to get him because, of course, you can't really find a $50 pack. There's not really a $50 pack you can without going through some kind of progression, right? Even your
Well, there are the buy one get the one free ones. To be fair,
but those aren't $50 packs.
No, there are $50 ones. There's a $50.
I don't think so.
There is. I see it right here.
24, 5, 5. I don't have a $50 pack. 5, 5, 20, 5, 5. It must be based on your your account.
Go,
and what
go to
you
the very
normally
end.
spend.
Go to look at the vehicle one. Go to the one before the
Elite
$100
Vehicle
pack,
Master, $5. Sparkling Gems pack, $5. The only one that's $20.
You can click the Ford arrow. Click the Ford arrow. You don't have to buy. You can buy whatever one you want.
What the fuck?
You didn't know that, bro?
I never buy these packs.
Oh my god.
So I feel even bigger and dumber. Because I was like, where are you going to find a $50 pack without going through some kind of progression, right?
Yeah, that's probably why they have these here.
Right. And so I did tell him, however, to get the Auto Farmer. Because in my opinion, Isabel is probably one of the best investments to get.
Investment.
Right?
Heck yeah.
However, I screwed up in my calculations. Because I thought the $50 pack that you get for Isabel is well before it actually is. You have to spend $130 before you get that $50 pack.
Oh no.
So I had him spend $100, get Isabel, and not get the rewards for the AL mission. So I feel like a total asshat. I'm like, I'm going to send you gold. It's my bad. Let me send you some gold. I'll transfer it myself.
Yeah, I was about to say I'd have to send him a little bit of gold at least to patch up his wounds. So,
that's what I told him. I'm like, I'll send you. What do you want? What do you want? 30,000, like 3,000, 5,000? Like, what can I send you to make it easier? Because that fucking hurts.
Yeah, I'd have a tear down my face. I mean,
Dude,
after I finally get to that pack and I check my Alliance League and it's not complete. I'd be like, "Hi guy,
dude,
you led me astray."
I did, and I got into a Discord call with him, and as soon as I looked at that, and as soon as we realized what happened, I'm already white, but the whiteness drained from my face. I've just felt the entire everything. Just oh my god! Instantly started tearing up. Bro, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I can't believe I screwed up. Don't hate me.
The guy probably was just laughing.
Well, he's like, yeah, it's no big deal. At least I have her now, anyways. I would never have gotten her, so I'm glad that you know that you made me get her in the
Oh,
first
did he
place.
not notice she existed, or he just wasn't really thinking about getting her?
He just wasn't thinking about getting her in the first place. But I feel like
It's a
once
good investment.
that's what I'm saying. Once you have her, you realize how good she is. And you'll end up getting her to, like, I have her level 3 right now. My next pack is 100. I haven't gotten yet. But three marches for 8 hours.
Yeah, that's actually what we get our players.
Yeah.
I'm getting like we literally don't give gold to each of our like fighters one by one to get the 3 auto gathers.
Yeah.
So like you saying that's so funny because we literally get them an exact 3. We don't even try to go for the 5 because it's like, bro, it's a little OD at that point.
So level 1 is 2 for 6 hours, level 2 is 3 for 6 hours, and then level 3 is 3 for 8 hours. And I ended up going up to level 3 right now, but I'm thinking of going to level 4 and 5, buying the next $100 pack, just to get her up to level 5, because then I think you get 3 for 12 hours. I think I have to double check. Hold on.
Might get 5 autos gathers at that point, or 4 at least, maybe.
4 is 4 and 8, 5 is 4 and 10. So level 4 and 5, you end up with 4 auto gathering queues for 10 hours.
Yummy.
Which I'm like, that's juicy. You know, you can't complain with that. I don't know how many Alliance League missions I'm going to clear just by not logging in.
Dude, I just do the gathering ones, bro. That's all I can do.
I'm working on tomatoes and then wood next. I'm going to make sure to have resources for IR, baby.
I will say it's very helpful too because we got the, like I said, I know we do the fillers, but we don't want to only have to rely on fillers at the same time because it's just like when you're only relying on these other accounts, it's good to be able to rely on yourself and then have these as like a backup option. I'm ready for Island Raid though, but at the same time, I'm glad I can get a full night's sleep. Because
Dude,
you got those you got those demon hours you gotta pull for Genesis especially.
like I said,
If you want to
Genesis War is making its way back into my heart, but that 2 o'clock wake up time is toxic. For a man my age, waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning to play video games is a weird thing to be saying.
Man, you play at all ages, bro.
Jesus, at 38, I never once thought I'd be waking up at 2 in the morning to log into a mobile game to play with people. That's crazy. It's crazy.
There's me at 4, bro. There's me at 4. I just like to wake up a little earlier just to set up my account. So my computer's already running. Like sometimes I'll just go to sleep and leave it running, bro.
Sure.
I'm just like I can't be bothered.
But here's the
I
thing.
can't be bothered to wake up earlier for that.
At least 4 o'clock, arguably, you could still make coffee, get up, and start your day. You could still start your day at 4 o'clock. You might have a nap in the afternoon, whatever, but you can start your day. You can still get up and start your day at 4 o'clock. Getting up and starting your day at 2 o'clock, totally different.
I don't ever have. I'll say this: like, it definitely would be more annoying if I had like issues like sleeping. I know like some people, insomnia or just people just like suck at going to bed. I don't. Like, I can go to sleep like a minute after I lay down if I really want to. Like, you can't stop me from going to bed, bro.
You lucky son of a bitch. I don't know how many times I'm sitting there laying in bed, tossing, turning, 45 minutes goes by. I'm still wide awake. My ass ain't going anywhere soon.
I used to have this thing where I would close my eyes, and you know how like you could like look into something, right? I kind of do that with my eyes. I don't do that anymore because I just go to sleep naturally now. But like if I really needed to go to sleep, I would literally just close my eyes and I would force myself like kind of like looking into the darkness. I don't know how to explain it, and then it kind of would drift me off because I would just kind of like I felt like I was in space or something, just kind of like floating in there, and then I would just I would dip out.
Listen to this young buck coming up with new ideas on how to fall asleep. Just
Hey,
stare
bro.
into the darkness.
Yeah, I need to release what's it called? I need to release a course on it.
Yeah, write a book.
For $9,999, I can get you to fall asleep every night at a nice rate. You won't have to sit there for an hour trying to get comfortable. You
and
can
then
just
it turns
fall
out it's
to
just
sleep.
it's just audio castings of our podcast.
just playing like my Doomsday videos in the background. Here, guys, just play this. I promise you'll fall asleep.
I promise you'll be sleeping in minutes.
It's so funny because I remember like I don't remember when this was, but I heard like a few people tell me this like it's not for a while, but ages ago. They were like, I would play your videos in the back and I would go to sleep, fall asleep to that. I'm like, I was
Thanks.
like, my voice is not that soothing, bro. Like,
It's like,
I know
thanks,
my
I
voice is not
guess. Is
that
that an
soothing,
insult
you
or
know?
a compliment? I can't
It's
tell.
a compliment. It's like to say your voice is soothing or whatever. A lot of people tell me that. I don't know. I don't like. I never really thought that though. With my voice, I don't know. I mean, it's a compliment though. I can't turn it around, turn it away. But I never really thought that. So
I mean, that's a good way to take it, because
I
I
was
hear
fucking
that
that
and I'm
guy
like,
coming to Doomsday.
what? Am I so boring? My stuff is so
What?
boring. It just puts you to sleep.
I always took it as a good thing. I just like that. You were able to just
They find
kind of
comfort in
soothe
your
it
presence.
instead of thinking you were like screaming in the mic like
Yeah, you're rubbing
you're a
that one
rock
in,
band.
hey? Rubbing that one in. I guess I screamed in the mic, huh? That what
No, no,
I'm
no, no,
just
no.
kidding. I'm
Well,
just playing.
you
I'm just
sometimes do. You
playing.
sometimes do, but you do that on purpose. But you're not like
Uh,
a rock band. You're not from like you're not trying to go famous
yeah, that's
as
true.
a.
That's true. I'm not screamo. Though I will be honest though, when we did that long stream, the amount of people laughing or making comment on my laugh really hit me in the nuts. You know what I mean? Like that.
I'm surprised it's never my laugh, bro. Like you would assume people would laugh at my hyena laugh or something, like, as you said it, as you called it.
I'm still
But no,
getting flack for that one, bro.
they were on you, bro.
I
Did
know. What
anybody
the
message
fuck?
you about that,
Yeah, of course they did. Of course they did.
bro? I ain't even get anything about that. How are they gonna message you?
I guess I'm
Laughing
getting
about
flack
my
because I said you laugh like a hyena.
Yeah, and now they're not gonna laugh at your laugh because you wanted to.
No, they
You
make
had to.
fun
You had
of
to
me.
throw me under the bus.
That's
You had to
right.
throw me
That's
under
right.
the bus.
Now it's all me.
So
God damn. I should have waited for
Bro,
them to hear yours first and then made the reference.
they made the comment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otis has been active today. Everybody's gonna get a good view of him this
He's-
podcast. Just
He's a good boy. He's done
strutting
some
around.
Yeah, he's done some pretty
Fluffing
big boy
his feathers.
stretches too on the bed.
Has he? I haven't even seen the stretches.
Yeah, he's done
Seen
some
right
big
there.
boy stretches. He's such a
He
good
just keeps
boy.
coming under my legs, rubbing up against me.
He's such a good boy. You can't blame him. He just is an all-star, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's my cuddle buddy at night.
Yeah, he's
Love
a good
that.
boy.
Or he's a eater. I just let him warm my legs up.
Yeah.
Lays under the blanket.
We have another dog named Zeus who does the same thing for my wife because she's I don't know, she doesn't have good circulation or something, so she's always cold,
I'm always hot. Like even when it's like wintertime, I'm like burning up.
melting up on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
I
I'm
just throw something on because I can't be shirtless in the podcast.
surviving the apocalypse. Triple X.
Got the nipples out,
Just
and
put
then you
the-
get demonetized.
You put star
Don't like-
pasties, you'll be fine.
Oh, you're right. You gotta like tape it over.
Yeah, just put
Little
star
extras.
tape, you'll be fine. The full tuck.
I ain't got nothing to show though, bro. I'm still too skinny right now. Scrawny boy.
Yeah, don't worry, you'll get there eventually. Eventually, your metabolism will stop or slow down. You gotta
My
give it some time.
metabolism is insane. I literally can't gain weight, bro. As of now, like,
Don't rub that in. I can't lose it. You want to trade?
I mean, as I am now, like, I mean, to be fair, I don't even lose weight. I'm kind of just like sitting at like the same point eternally. So, I mean, I'm kind of already there. Just, I don't know.
You heard that right,
I just
folks.
gotta live.
He's literally rubbing it in your faces that weight is not a problem for him. Come for him in the comments, please. Come for him in the comments.
Give it a few years and I'll start. I don't know. I should take advantage though while I am. Like, I need to hit the gym more.
Hit the gym and
I've
eat
been-
just irresponsibly.
I need a better diet. Well, I already eat irresponsibly, but I need a better diet so I actually gain weight.
Which seems so weird to me. Like the concept is always calories in versus calories out, right? They're always like, if you want to lose weight, it's always calories in versus calories out, yada, 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 yada. But I look at some of these like muscle builders and they're eating like 14,000 calorie meals. You know what I mean? In order to bulk up, you have to eat ridiculously. So I kind
Really
of,
watch what they
yeah.
eat as well. Still, I mean, like,
sometimes.
uh, sometimes, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I've seen some of these guys that, I mean, they're putting away, like it doesn't matter for them where they're getting their calories from. So they'll eat a whole pizza. They'll eat a tub of ice
what
cream.
the heck?
Because-
That's what I need, bro.
Because
I need that
ideally,
diet.
a lot of that doesn't matter, right? Yes, you have to worry a lot about, fats and things like that and fiber and making sure you're getting a lot of protein. But there's tons of ways to be able to do that. I mean, even just eating a rack of ribs, you know what I mean? Like, what do you have? What do you have to eat today? A whole chicken, a rack of ribs. Like, who's gonna complain about that?
Oh my gosh, bro.
A
Yeah,
whole
I mean,
rotisserie
I need
chicken.
whatever diet they're on. I need whatever diet they're on, and I'll pick up the exercise.
I'll start picking up the
I'll do the
weights.
rest. Literally. I mean, I do actually have weights over here. I just need to be consistent about actually lifting.
I know. Don't worry. It's hard for everybody. I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I need to get up and start doing more because I'm at the age now where my heart could stop for no reason. So like, I need to start giving a shit. And like, but getting up and being consistent for that kind of stuff, I never liked working out. I would much rather play video games.
Consistency's hard. I mean, like you gotta it's hard unless you make it a habit, right? You
Hmm.
literally gotta build it into like your brain. Like you just do it. You just do it, because you're just too used to doing it that you're never not gonna do it. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to start. That's for sure. Just because you're like, oh, I don't wanna do this every morning, or I don't wanna do this every night. It's too much work. I don't know, my arms,
You
my
know,
legs.
I'll be honest, I just felt lied to because every single person
I
who
said,
likes work, well, I'll tell you, every single person who likes working out or every single person who likes running or any of these people who are like, oh, it's so great. It's, you get past this point where you get this endorphin high and then you just feel great about it. And you just, you wake up the next day and you feel energized and you feel this, and you just feel great about. I'm like, bitch, I've never once experienced a runner's high. I've never once experienced euphoria working out. I've never once woken up the next day feeling energetic and excited. It's always waking up feeling like a bag of smashed assholes. It's never a positive experience, and I've never had. And all these people are like, "Oh, it's the
maybe it's just
best
because you
thing
never got to
ever."
the point. Because they did say once you get to like that wall, I guess, right, or whatever. Once you climb that wall, I suppose
How tall
it
is
starts
this
hitting you
wall?
better.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if that wall is unclimbable for me, there's no reward. I ran for an hour, nothing except I get tired and drawn out and tired the next day.
As long as you can crawl over me, dude, you're good, man. The wall's only as tall as I am.
Well, then I'm I
So I
can
think
roll.
you'll manage. You'll manage.
I can roll. All right, I'm wide enough.
I'm
I
only
can
seven.
roll.
I'm only 7 feet tall, man. It's not that much.
Don't rub it in. Jesus, I'm like
Uh,
5'11".
I mean,
You're
that's pretty. I would say that's even above average, to be honest. Just
Let's see.
I
Let's
think
actually
being
see.
tall is
I want to
idolized
know.
though.
Hold on a
Probably like
second.
5'10", 5'8", or something. 5'8", 5'10". That'd probably be more average on an actual height scale. I think it's just idolized to be super tall. Is that right?
The average height of a man worldwide is around 5 feet 7.5 inches.
I was close. I said. Wait, no. So for me, it says about 5'8". Well, same difference, I suppose.
Yeah, 5 feet 7.5, 5'8". In the United States, the average height is slightly higher at 5 feet 9 inches.
Hey, man, you're still above the average, bro.
I'm
Just
bringing it up. I'm bringing up the
you just gotta
average.
be you gotta be above the average though, where where it counts, I guess. Though that's what really matters.
I'm bringing up the average. That's where it matters most.
No,
Look,
I mean like where it matters most, bro. You know what I mean?
listen, I'm bringing up the
You gotta
average there
bring up
too,
that
where it
average.
matters. Okay, I'm okay as long as I'm bringing up at least on one side of the average. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm on the plus side of the
Yeah,
average, it doesn't
yeah,
matter how
yeah,
much.
yeah. You need to exercise, bro. But like you need like weights, but I'm not using them on my arms.
Yeah, you
You know
know
what I
what
mean?
I'm
You gotta
saying.
you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, bro?
Push-ups,
You're like,
no
oh my
hands.
gosh, it's gonna snap, bro. And then you're just practicing like going worm and going tree mode. You get what I'm saying? You just like you're just lifting yourself. You're just like I gotta ah. No, you just like turn on your phone and then you're like ah, and then you just turn it off and you're like just fall back down on the ground. Ah, bro. I don't even know where this conversation went, bro.
I don't know, but this is the front clip of the video. That was absolutely
Oh
phenomenal.
no. Oh
That
no. You
was
wandered
so
off into
perfect.
forbidden land.
Welcome to ADHD.
That was
God, it's the
forbidden
best thing.
territory.
I look at ADHD as both the best and worst thing in the world, okay? As an individual who has ADHD, I'm going to tell you right now, school sucked, okay? And like this society doesn't know about us, doesn't care about us, but some of the benefits, man, conversation is beautiful. It just goes through everything. Like the flexibility is amazing. And yet I just struggle to do basic things like brush my teeth. You know what I mean? So it's like give and take.
Yeah, I didn't have ADHD and school sucked for me, so I guess like we all relate on that, huh?
Maybe you do have ADHD, you just don't
Relatable.
know it. Except the
Nah,
sleep thing.
I don't know. I'm not actually.
Most ADHD people have a tough time getting to sleep, so maybe that might be not.
Uh,
If you have such a good
I'm
relationship
past,
with it.
if I don't pass out, I can make myself go to sleep. You know what I mean? Anytime I want. For the most part,
Jesus.
as long as I haven't been up for like, as long as I didn't like hibernate, you know what I mean, for like 10 plus hours, then I'm like, oh, I gotta go back to bed. Like, no, it don't work like that.
Yeah, no, I feel that. There's no way I'm going to bed. If I have a nap for like an hour, anything more, I'm up for at least 6 hours before I'm going back to sleep. There's no like even that's why Genesis War was so rough because I would stay up till 10, and I would like stay, and then I would go down to bed, and it would take me like an hour to get to sleep. So I would sleep for a couple of hours and then wake up at 2 and then have a tough time getting back to sleep again. So much so that I slept through one of the fight times. Get this, I slept through one of the fight times at 14. Yeah, go figure. My team still
To be
succeeded.
fair, for me, I do stay up an hour as well, but the reason isn't because I can't go to sleep. It's because like I get like lost reading manga on my phone or something, right? Because I read a lot of manhwa and I can't help it. It's a massive habit because I literally have sites for it, and I have to go through them every single day to make sure I don't miss any. Let me
Any new stories?
show
Gotta
you
get my
here.
stories.
Yeah. Oh, and I got one right here. All my alter egos are tycoons. I've been waiting for this one right here, bro. Check me out. We're not missing that. We're reading that right after this podcast, bro. Right after. I'm not joking.
That's so funny.
I've been waiting for that next chapter
Oh
because they
god.
release one like once a week, but you get them all throughout the week from
Yeah, yeah.
different, you know.
I never really started getting into like manga and like, anime and shit like that until I got older. Cuz it was always such a thing that it was always so nerdy as a kid, but now because all those kids who are nerds are
Realize.
adults, you know what I mean? It's like now it's cool again, which is weird. It's a weird thing to see the shift in society going from, cool people are cool to nerds are cool to, cool people suck now. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like it's weird.
I actually like reading more than I like watching animes. I mean, I still watch the occasional animes. I mean, Solo Leveling is a good example. I read that right when it was out.
Mhm.
But I actually kind of prefer reading because I feel like, and I mean, it's the same with books being like converted into movies. I feel like reading something, like it's much better than watching the movie because you're able to kind of visualize anything you want in your head and
Mm.
contextualize that. And I feel like if you watch a movie, like yeah, I mean, it's bringing what you would have. I mean, like, I don't mind watching it after the fact, but like, if you watch it beforehand, I feel like although after the fact you might have your expectations let down somewhat, if
Mhm.
you watch it beforehand, you're kind of also kind of setting in stone what you're expecting. So when you're reading into scenes, you're not kind of like visualizing this like scenery, you're visualizing what you saw in the movie. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really like it the same.
you're not
I prefer
creating the
books
environment
more.
yourself. You're just playing off what the other directors ended up doing, right? And instead of creating that universe, which I mean, in theory, is far more like it uses so much more of your
Complex.
brain. Yeah, it's far more complex than
Yeah, yeah,
having
yeah.
to learn it from
and
somebody
and
else.
anything in your head's always going to be visualized kind of at the maximum, I guess, capacity of what you wanted to see, right? Because everybody's going to see it differently, but
Mm-hmm.
they're all going to see it in their own way that would have, I guess, looked the most optimal, I suppose, to them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you'll see like a scenery in a way that you wanted to see it instead of how the director kind of put it out there or whatever the case. So I just kind of I just like reading for those kind of aspects, so I don't know. I just definitely prefer. I don't know. I'm not much for novels though. I like the I do like them kind of doing the.
One
Maybe it's
chapter
just
at a
because like
time.
I wouldn't mind reading on like paper. I just don't like reading novels off my phone. But I don't mind like reading manhwa because they at least put it in like a kind of visualized format. You know what I mean? Like they put it in like pages or whatever, so
Right,
you
right,
can kind
right.
of just go down.
Are there is there there's pictures in that too, or is it just words?
Yeah. It's pictures.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pictures
That's
for
what I thought.
manhwa.
That's what I thought. That is what I thought. All right, folks. Well, we have been kicking it here for a long time. We have gone over a bunch of good
30 minutes till
topics.
reset too.
Yeah, it's about that time. We touched on the update, bounced around some of the ideas that they got going through, what IGG is thinking. We spoke a little bit about the importance of bots. And again, if you don't have them in your alliance already, reach out and try to get them. Find out where you can get them or create them yourself. They're really not that hard. It is a pain in the butt to manage them by yourself, though. So just respect that position because it's an important role within the alliance that obviously everyone needs to do. And then we also spoke about the SSI versus Rogue situation, hopefully giving you a little bit more clarity into that, and obviously giving a little bit more recognition and a huge shout out to the YouTube group, I guess you could say, the four major YouTube content creators who ended up having, I think it was on probably one of the best street. It was a great time, good
Probably
conversation.
the best.
Yeah, it was great.
Fluid.
Lots of views, lots of people there. It was a great chat. But that's going to wrap it up for today's episode, guys, for this week. So I want to say thanks a lot, Panda, for joining me again.
Hell yeah. It was fun. We had a
Spirit
good
fingers.
little chat. I always do that little thing with my fingers. I don't know why. It's just like my way of being like, all right, we're going out. It's like confetti, I guess, sprinkling down from the
Spirit
sky
fingers.
for me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm glad you came back. I love doing this podcast with you. It brings up, it's a lot of fun almost every 2 weeks that we do it. I think we got a lot of good chemistry, and I think a lot of people have been really appreciating it as well. The comments have been pretty positive. So we're going to keep this rolling, keep this train rolling, and I hope that everyone continues. If you haven't already, head over to Panda's channel and like, comment, and subscribe. Become a member, help them out. Obviously, do what we can with the community. The same thing goes here. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the join button, become a member, and help support from the community as well. All of that being said, folks, love, peace, chicken grease. And until next time. Now you say stay lifted.
Stay lifted. I actually was thinking about it when you said it, like I stay lifted, and then you just like said stay it.
You can say it this time. Stay lifted.
Okay. Stay lifted.
Down feeling good. Yeah, but when